KGC Show with Cowboy Caden. The KGC Show with Cowboy Caden. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. The KGC Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the KGC Show. And before we introduce this guest, she has some accolades to be announced before we get into her. Number one, she is a new Josie Music Award winner. Congratulations on that. We'll dive into that. And she released yesterday, so Monday, she released it Sunday, November the 3rd, for Rock and Roll in My Soul. The music video for that is out now everywhere you guys get music, and it's a part of the Danny Diamond's record, that she's her rock album, and it's fantastic. So make sure you guys go get yourself a copy. But as my buddy Gary Stuckey said in the beginning of the music video yesterday, here is the Australian sensation, my friend and yours, podcast favorite, Danni Stefanetti. Danny, how you doing, my friend?
Hi, Caden. How are you? It's KGC Show with Cowboy Caden.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. It's been a while since I've been on your show, and I'm glad you were one of the first to join in on the premiere yesterday when we released the music video. It's good to see the KGC Show's name pop up there.
So, how's life been doing since we've last talked to you? You been busy?
Well, in the desert, it's very like the summers, everybody stays inside. There's not many gigs, but the season has started out here, and I've been so chock-a-block with shows coming up out here. So I'm really looking forward to that because the weather's cooled down, and I'm ready for a big live show of lots of pretty much a tour ahead of me throughout California over the next couple of months. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. And what was it like? What was it like when you actually, first off, what was the inspiration for Rock and Roll in My Soul? Before we kind of get into how you got the instrumentational part, talk to us about the song first.
So when I was 17, when I was 15, I more got into the electric guitar. I transitioned from the acoustic to the electric, and I was out there in Tamworth, which is the East Coast. It's our country music capital of Australia. And we had like a couple of concerts out there called like the Tall Story to Tamworth and things like that. And that's when I first whipped out the electric and started shredding on stage. Even though it was a country festival, I like started going through my rock era. And then flash forward 2 years later, and I was in Nashville, Music City. I was at the Josie Music Awards a year before at the Opry and hanging out with William. And that's when we were like working on his song before, like, just recently when I went out there when we finished the song. And I came back from that for like, it was I think my second trip to Nashville when I saw William. I've been times before that. And I came back from Nashville, and I was living like on a little like 1 acre property out in New Kuiper, and I said to my manager, what are we doing next? You know, I just come back from Nashville, I won an award, and it was like a release live at Big Bear. And it was like we had a really exciting year with that record, and with like the Danny speaking. Like it was a really fun year. We just like kept putting out content. Or that's where the koala bears came in. I mean, it just was a fun year. I met everybody. Like I met yourself in 2022, 2023, pretty much. Like we were just moving so quickly. Radio stations were coming on board. We were like, my imaging started changing. But that's when like my imaging really started changing. I mean, I went back to like when I was 17 and I had ripped jeans and I was more rock and roll, and Jeff said, oh, let's do a rock record. And I was like, I just come out of live at Big Bear, which was like full of live ballads. Yeah. You ought to know, and some were kind of like jazzy, rocky, but I sat down by the pool in New Kuiper and 12 songs came out in 2 days. And I just pressed my voice memo and I like just started writing them on the spot. The lyrics, words, chords all came out at the same time. And I played this record to my manager, and I said, well, we're going to have to hire session players. I can play all the guitars and stuff, but we're gonna have to, do all that. And that's where the idea came that we would co-produce it, and I would learn how to engineer and mix and record myself from my home studio. But it wasn't until that Nashville trip where I really like decided we're gonna write rock songs. And Rock and Roll in My Soul was one of the last songs written for the record. And when I played it back on the voice memo, I wasn't like, wow, like Timing was on or some of the others. And soon you might hear Southern Belle. There's some other really fun songs. You've got the record.
I do.
But that's one of my faves is Southern Belle and Call Your Name.
Yeah.
But that one was like, it came out and I was like, yeah, okay. But it wasn't until we took it into the studio, which it really became a rock track.
Yeah.
It was, it needed that production behind it for sure.
So when you said that this Nashville trip kind of helped inspire this song, was there a certain artist or was there a certain group of people that you were listening to when you were making this song, or just even kind of just coming up with the idea for Rock and Roll in My Soul? Was there anybody that you listened to that says, I want to channel this in this song?
I mean, Nashville itself didn't influence Danny's Diamonds because I actually came back and I got my old leather pants out and like started painting them and like making a whole new vibe, And it was kind of like I came back from Music City and then realized, hang on, maybe I'm like, I am country, but maybe I need to go back to what I used to be, was like my rock girl,
Yeah.
Bring that guitar out again, bring those riffs out. And I got back to listening to some Peter Frampton, Rolling Stones, and then Jeffrey played me some Toto. Some of the drumming in Toto, that was a big reference for the record, the drum parts. But it wasn't until I heard Chicago, and that really opened up my ears to Motown and horns, which I never combined my style with horns. This is the first time I've put brass on my record. So yeah, it was a different sound.
So when you were making this record and you had it in your mind that you were making a rock record, did you ever think about putting in or not a gospel song, a rock and roll song here, or like a rock and roll cover song here and there, like doing like a I love rock and roll, or was it really just mainly focused on that songwriting that you're so capable and fantastic at doing?
Thank you.
You've written so many soundtracks to a lot of people's lives, and I was just wondering if those kind of like songs influenced when you were making this album, like the songs behind the music.
I guess there's like little catchphrases I was hearing at the time that just found their way into the songs. But like I say, those 2 days when I got back from Nashville, and there is a photo of it I took, and literally I've got like 3 mugs of tea or whatever. I've got like a big one of those American, you know how you have those water things? What are they called? The tumblers.
Yeah.
I got like tumblers, I got like all these cups everywhere, my cables, my pedal board, and it's a hot, nice day out in California. And I had the electric. I don't know if you saw the photo, but that was the day all these songs just was like a download from heaven. And then I just press play. And like every single word and like chord and all that was just like coming out. I didn't have time to think about it. It was like whatever I heard from whether William or Jeff or anyone throughout that year, any of my friends or family, was just popping into these lyrics. And sometimes just whatever maybe I've seen on TV or heard in passing was starting to come into this song. And like I had like a New Orleans reference in there, and originally the lyrics weren't jambalaya. It was like, I like you like to live on the edge, babe. Well, it used to be I like to live on the edge, and I was like, no, I don't. I don't have like the furthest from that. I like, you like to live on the edge, babe. Take me to a trip to the sky, somewhere in the deep south. You got me sweating on some love you likey.
Yeah.
And that's what it used to be, but we changed it to jambalaya because we were like, what's love you likey? I was like, I don't know. And my co-producer said, that sounds like I don't know, like a massage parlor or something. Love you, likey, love you, likey. And I said, I don't know, I just like the word love you, likey, and it's like it makes no sense. So we ditched that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it turned out really well. And what do you hope that people interpret when they watch this music video? What do you hope that they like take away from this song?
I really hope that they just get like a summary uplifting. Yeah, it's a driving song. You can turn it up when you're going down a highway or on a motorbike. It's like one of those songs like just makes you feel good, get up and dance, and share it with your friends. But it's just like a feel good, fun song. I have a lot of like deeper messages in my songs with Timing Was On and all those kind of like romantic ballads. But this one is just like let down your hair, get the guitar out, like play the 12 bar blues and just rock out on stage. It's like a feel good song. Yes.
I have a personal story to tell you about this certain individual song.
Really?
Yeah, a couple months ago, I had the honor to go see Jelly Roll live in concert
Oh,
in
cool.
Spokane. And the next night, I had met somebody at the concert the night before, and I came back, and he said, "Man, I want to take you out on my boat." And we went out on that boat, and I that was one of the first songs I thought of when I was on the boat. I said, "Man, can I play the song? Can I play a song real quick?" He said, "Sure." And I played him that song, and he said, "Man, that's incredible." And it rocked the boat speakers away, man. That was
Really?
yeah, it's a great boat song too.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm a big fan of Jelly Roll, and I bet that was a great concert.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. And talk about a guy who puts on a show.
I've
Him,
never been able to see him live, but I would love to.
him and the Oak Ridge Boys are the best in the
Oh,
business.
oh yeah, absolutely.
But can you talk to us a little bit about the idea behind the music video? Since we have a little bit about the song, how
Yeah.
did the video come together?
Well, the video was actually shot at the Ukaipa Performing Arts Centre, and I was a local over there, um, especially after the pandemic, and I really loved it. Yeah, it's a very quiet little city, little town, and I got invited to sing at the Performing Arts Centre there, and it was amazing because I got to open for a grand Mark Farner, who is the lead singer of Grand Funk Railroad, and I know his that's a rock band. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get a really tight 1 hour rock set and use most of the songs from Danny's Diamonds.
Yeah.
So I put that all together. It was like a really tight set, and I had my guitars lined up on stage, and it was a big stage, you know. And it was like we captured the music video from that footage. Eric B. Stone came up with his daughter and filmed it, had different cameras going on. And he was also on stage filming me. And I was trying not to trip up on him and my cables. And I actually had a cable free in there, but it was really, really fun. And he captured it on video. We ended up taking most of that. And we put in some horns and drums, angles, and different things. From other footage, and we were able to edit it all together, and yeah, it came out fantastic. Jeffrey and Evan did a fantastic job, and Zoe.
They sure did. And what was when you saw the final like take of it, what was your reaction to it?
Well, there actually is a live version where I'm playing through the mic of the stereo, and that was we wanted to use that, but then we played it with the actual audio from Danny's Diamonds, and it fitted, and that had the lush horns and brass section. And we said we got to use that. I mean, it's got the drums, it's got everything. But when you watch the video, you don't feel like you're like missing that on stage. It just sounds like it works perfectly. And I was like, wow, this is a different vibe than I have out there already. So I was really excited for people to hear it.
Well, I'm excited for people to hear it as well. I also want to just mention one more time that please go check out not only this song but her entire album. She mentioned Live from Big Bear.
Yeah.
Have that entire album memorized as well as everything.
Yeah.
And I just love it because I think that what it is it's capturing true talent at its best. And that's what it was.
Oh,
And talent speaks for itself, so much so that you won an award this year at the Josies. Just like
yeah.
what, last week?
Uh-huh.
Last Sunday, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you won at the Josies. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
How does it feel to keep getting invited back, and not only getting invited back, but to keep winning? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's really cool that there's an award show for independent artists that are trying our best to create content, to perform our content, and let the people tell us if they like it or not. And then there's an award show for that, the Grand Ole Opry, which is a historic, um, legendary venue, hosts the award show. So yeah, to be honored with that title, I think I got multi-genre female vocalist of the year. Um, and that was really cool. I was nominated for female guitarist of the year, I believe, and a couple of other awards. So
Yeah.
I just feel very lucky that they included me in that as well.
Well, you are a great person to win an award, and honestly, I think that you should be given more because you, I think, have, and by God, I believe this, you've hit the nail on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction with this album.
Uh,
I've said it from day one, and I'll keep saying it because this, to me, it doesn't get much better than this, and
Thank you.
I can tell it's from the heart. And
It
is
is.
that
Yeah.
is there a certain out or song on this album that you're excited for the release for? As I know you are for all of them, but is there one that you're just waiting for?
Well, I was actually going to ask you what your favorite one off the entire record is.
Wow, I can't pick.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but because like the song titles, but if there is there one that pops out to you, because I really want to ask what people would like of that album, because we don't know which single we're going to put out yet, to be honest with you. We're still deciding.
Well, you know what? I'm so wrapped up in rock and roll in my soul. That's so but I love every song on that album because every song on that album tells a story.
Yep.
And it's so hard to pick one because of how great those stories can resonate with my life for sure. I know it did for like the Big Bears and the Big Bear record. I know that for sure about
Yeah.
how, there were certain songs, even on your last release that you did, that there were songs that on that record that I was like, man, this really resonates with me. So
Yeah.
I can't pick because they're all my favorites.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm very actually excited about a song called Something Special and Call Your Name. But then I also am really looking forward to releasing Switch. So
Well,
not
who knows?
Twitch, Switch.
So like a light switch?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then people
That's
know,
the rocker, that one.
so people know from this podcast when you are talking about the song Switch, she means light switch, not really.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Not a Switch.
but Danny, what are your plans for the rest of this year?
I've got quite a few shows booked out here in the California desert. We've been writing a new song. I've been staying busy getting ready for the season out here. So it's my birthday on Wednesday and we're getting ready for this release. I got like another few like interviews today. Thank you. So yeah, that's all in the pipeline. But with anything with the music business, everything just like comes along in its own timing. I mean, like just recently I got news that a few music directors of television shows and things like that have been looking at our music and this Danny's Diamond album and some of my older works. So that's very exciting too, because we're always on the lookout for people that want music for their movies and film.
Mhm.
So you never know. Since I'm in Palm Springs, there's a lot of there are film festivals and things out here, and a lot of people that also work in the industry. So anything's possible. I just like being a music creator, and of course, I love performing live because I get that back from the people, and that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two more questions before we wrap up. Before we wrap up this interview, you before we talked the last time we talked, were just about to release the single with William Lee Golden. I've got my heart on you. How has
Mm.
how has the response from that song? Um, how has that been?
It was, I got back from it was the second last week of September. I was in Nashville and we had a whole press week. We got to go on the WSM Opry Radio, Cody and Country, um, local on two, talk of the town. I mean, we had a whole week planned of stuff. So I was like William's sidekick, we were going
Yeah,
from TV studio to TV studio with a publicist, and he's used to that because he's an Oak Ridge boy, comes off the tour bus, he goes to interviews. He's pro at it. So it was nice to be like included in that, and as part of like being a co-producer in this project and co-writer with the composition and things like that. It was a real blessing to. It was like really, it was a gift to his son because William wrote it, and it was nice to be included in the project. We got so many people told us their stories about the song and how they loved it and it touched them. So the song's still traveling on its own. So it was just beautiful to have all that. I got to also go back to their Nashville home, and it was a beautiful experience. So I'm just glad the song was finished and it's finally out there for people to listen to.
that's right. And that song, Got My Heart on You. And that
Yes.
other song that we've been promoting and talking a lot today about is called Rock and Roll in My Soul. And I'm going to tell you something. When you're done listening to it, you're going to feel that rock and roll down in your
Yeah.
soul as well. And it translates. And it's not just something you hear in your ears. It's a feeling you get. And Danny does ever more great job at showing that in her music. And
Thank you.
like I said, she just keeps getting better. And
Oh.
I've heard I heard that you've written 300 songs.
Mhm.
So there's more to come, correct?
Oh yeah. Even if I stopped writing today, that not that I want to stop writing, but even if I, stopped, there would be plenty there to like record. Yeah.
That's right. And
But
I'm
this one, oh, I just remembered what's different from this song with anything else I've ever recorded. Do you want
what's
to know the instrument that's different apart from the horns? There's cowbell in this song.
huh.
Cowbell in my music.
Whose idea was that?
That was my manager's.
That, that can only be the creative minds of Jeff Panzer. That
Yes, exactly. I was like, no cowbell. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit. He's like, no, it will work. And it did.
Well, if there's anyone who knows about the music industry, it's that genius. It's Jeff
Yes.
Panzer. That man is genius, and I truly want to thank him and you for being the
Thank
highest
you.
podcast on my show, and it's still the highest
Oh,
today. So thank you
wow.
for being a part of that
Thank you, Caden.
as a host, but more importantly as a friend. I
Thank
can't
you.
tell you how much that means to me to have
Thank
you
you very much.
and Jeff's a part of that. So thank you for being
Thank you.
part of everything that you do for my show as well. So
Thank you. Well, he brought us together, so
he
it's
did it. And
fantastic. Yeah.
you said we met in 2023. It's crazy. No,
Might have been 2022 actually. The end. Like towards the middle end. Yeah. Then when I started doing Danny speaking, you were definitely on the Danny speaking train by then.
I remember when you premiered that show.
Really?
I do.
Oh, I said some crazy things. I think you remember like I called it a pot plant, but it was a pottery. We call it in Australia. It's pottery of plants that, are in potted. What do you call them? Potted plants.
Yeah.
And I had one, it was like a fake flower bed thing in the living room, and I think it like got stuck in my guitar, and I was like, oh, there's a pot plant. You guys are like, that means something different in America.
Because Australia it just means a pot plant in Australia, right?
Like, yeah, like a flower plant. Yeah, like just like greenery,
Yeah. Well, that was what we call Danny moment. That was a Danny.
That's
And,
where the Danny moment thing came in.
and, and throughout our friendship, we've had a lot of Caden and Danny moments together,
Yes.
and I'm so thankful for that. But I know you're busy. I know you got to get going. But thank you so much for coming back
Thank you, Caden.
and trusting me with your music, and we can't wait to talk to you again.
Thank you so much. I wonder if you're going to do a bloopers one day of all of our Caden and Danny moments. That time that we blacked out the screen and you went out and I had to end up hosting it.
I remember that. I truly do remember that. And you said, didn't you black out for the rest of the interview? But
That's gold.
that
Well,
is
thank you.
gold.
Thank you for all your support, Caden.
I will continue to do it until my dying day.
Aw.
I think it's an honor to promote you and be a Danny Stefanetti fan. So I'm
Thank
on,
you, Caden.
and thank you so much for your support as well. I love you.
All right. We love you too.
Thank you to everybody watching the KGC show. Please go to DanniStefanetti.com for everything Danni Stefanetti. Go to youtube.com/Danni Stefanetti, the rock and roll in my soul for the music video. And also check out her collaboration with William Lee Golden with I Got My Heart on You. You can find all of this at DanniStefanetti.com or on Twitter or Facebook. You follow her on social media, please do. And she will keep you entertained for the days to come. I'm proud to call her a friend. Thank you to my friend Danni Stefanetti, and we'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. Love one another.
Yeehaw! The KGC show, the Cowboy Caden. The KGC show, the Cowboy Caden.